Robin Banks, the Robin Banks. Welcome to deVonk. It's such an honor to have you in our second issue of our Lifestyle e-magazine, and thank you so much for making time to chat with me today. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you, Lee, and thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure, Robin. So I think most people know you, but for those viewers that don't you want to give us a short introduction about who is Robin Banks?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I always like starting that question with a short story. For those of you who can't figure it out, because I didn't figure it out, it took me 16 years. My name is Robin Banks, and I often get confused with a very well-known comedian in South Africa who shares the same surname. So I always have to say to people, I'm not Mark Banks. Mark Banks is a comedian. I'm a speaker. He's white. I'm colored. We're different. So the story I'd like to tell you, I'm originally from Johannesburg. And when I was 16 years old, I met a man who was visiting South Africa from the States. And when I met him, a friend of mine was introducing me. And he says, Robin, I'd like you to meet Bob Hollis. He says, Bob, this is my friend, Robin Banks. So this guy came up to meet me. And as he was busy shaking my hand, he says to me, now, did I just hear right? Did he just say that your name was Robin Banks? So I said yes, because I didn't get it. It went straight over my head. So I said, yes, that's my name, Robin Banks. He says, Robin Banks? That sounds more like an occupation than a name. So my name is Robin Banks. I don't rob banks for a living. I am a speaker. I'm a mind power coach. Mainly what I do is I travel the world doing talks for many corporate clients. I also do public seminars. My number one passion is I teach a program called Mind Power, where I got to meet the amazing Lee Van Us. She's one of my Mind Power graduates, and I'm so chuffed by your success, Lee, because it proves that Mind Power works. And I teach people how you can use your thoughts to manifest and create your reality. And so that's a short essence of what it is that I do.
Okay, wonderful. Well, my next question was, what is mind power exactly? And I think most importantly is, I want to understand why you really believe in this and live by this. What is the, the essence or the uniqueness of this, why you live by it?
So first of all, just to say, it's not my program. I didn't create it. I really wish I did, Lee, because the creator and the author, my mentor, John Keogh, he created the program in 1978. He wrote the book, Mind Power into the 21st Century. That's the full title. In 1988, 10 years later, it shot to the #1 bestseller within 1 week of its release, which is an absolute phenomenon for a book. Yes. I first read his book in 1996. A girlfriend gave me a copy and she says, Robin, you're a very positive person. I think you'll enjoy this book. Yes. But little did you know that at the time, I was not the best reader. I was a lazy reader. But I read this book. It was probably the only book I'd read in ages. And as a result of reading the book and applying the techniques, I saw some massive changes in my life, because I started changing what I was thinking, changing what I was focusing on. And then I did his course in May 1999. And people always say, how do you remember the month? Because my life changed in 1 month. The very next month, I quadrupled my income. My business quadrupled its income. And that's when I realized, yo, as we say in South Africa, I'm sitting on a gold mine. This is a gold mine. Yeah. And I've never stopped practicing mind power. So what mind power is it's not positive thinking. Mind power is a practice. It is a discipline. It is something that you do regularly and consistently because you want to produce results. So an analogy I like to give people is, I say, you don't go to the gym to watch other people working out, even though I think some people do. But ideally what you do is you go to the gym for 30 minutes a day for 30 days in a row, and you work out. It's guaranteed that you're going to be fitter. No questions asked. You will get fitter. And I always say to people that most people know how important it is to be physically fit. In 2022, I think it's more important to be mentally fit.
Yes.
So what I encourage people to do is to become an athlete of the mind,
Mm.
mentally fit, sharp, focused, and ready to lead. Lead what? Lead your life.
Yes.
And so what's the essence of mind power? I'll give you the elevator pitch. Think of your mind as a garden of rich, fertile soil. Any seed that you sow into rich, fertile soil, if you nourish and care for the seed, what happens is it grows.
Yes.
And the soil doesn't care what seeds you sow. Tomatoes, carrots, tulips, weeds, and not those, even though it'll even grow those weeds. The soil will grow whatever you sow. How amazing is it?
Yeah.
The soil, the same soil that gives you flowers can give you apples, can give you potatoes, can give you carrots. The same soil between your ears that gives you failure can give you success, that gives you poverty can give you abundance, that gives you happiness can give you misery. So your life is the harvest that you are currently reaping because of the seeds that you've been sowing.
Yes.
So most people are not aware that they are creating their own lives. They don't know this because most of us are unconscious about what seeds we are sowing, what thoughts we are thinking. So what is mind power about? A series of techniques designed for you to uninstall programming that doesn't serve you, to take out the weeds, because before you sow seeds, the first thing you got to do is you must first take out the weeds. You can't. So a lot of people practice positive thinking. They do affirmations and have visualizations, which are powerful tools, and I teach them. But it's pointless to sow seeds into a garden that's full of weeds. So the most important thing we need to do is learn how to take out the weeds. If you living in 2022 and your computer's operating system is Windows 95, what do you think? Fast computer? Slow computer. What do you think, Lee? What do you think?
No.
Stikkend stadig. The computer won't work. What do you need to do? Upgrade the software. Now most people don't get this. When you press upgrade on your computer, what does your computer do? It first uninstalls the old program. Then it installs them. So what I want to teach people to do is we need to change your outdated way of thinking. We need to upgrade your software. We need to create a new program. So mind power is about reprogramming the mind for success, happiness, great relationships, deep spirituality, abundance, joy, love, whatever you choose. You are the one who decides. So that just gives you the essence, and it's a series of exercises. So it's 3-month university, because I want you to actually practice the techniques, not just feel motivated by the session. The session will give you motivation. It doesn't give you transformation. That is what mind power is about. You practicing and doing the techniques to produce results. And
it's something that forms part of your everyday life for the rest of your life. I think a lot of people also think you get excited and you're like, yes, we're going to do this. And sometimes people lose track, or they're not committed enough. And then they think, why is it not working anymore? And it's really not a short-term solution. You change the way you think for the rest of your life. And I think that's why I absolutely fell in love with it. It's just, it sounds cliche, it's so life-changing, but seriously, it is life-changing. It literally is life-changing. So
that was my passion. Is it changed my life. So first it starts, you see, a lot of people are like, I want to change the world. You can't change the world until you change your world.
Yes.
You have to first be. So when John Keogh gave me the rights to run his program, he said the number one reason is he saw that my life was demonstrating it, that I was producing results. And by the way, that's what we want. We want results. If you're not producing results, either I'm not doing my job or you're not doing your exercises. Because if you go to the gym and you get a personal trainer, and you work out and you watch your diet, I guarantee you results. In the same way, I guarantee that there's no way you can work out in your mind without producing your results. And as you said, Lee, it's a lifelong commitment, but it's not a drag.
No.
I do mind power every day because it gives me results. So when I quadrupled my income in 1 month, do you think I did more mind power or less?
More.
this stuff is amazing. So let me give you another analogy that just came to mind. You guys, I was saying to Lee, you have to watch me because I get so excited. And by the way, this is my natural energy. I'm not on any drugs, just so you guys know. I'm just high energy.
I know.
But do you know what percentage of our brain power they say most people use? Most people use, well, they say that Albert Einstein, by the way, who was a genius, used 10%. And he was a genius. What does that say about some of us? Hey, I must be on 3%.
Yeah. Yes.
And can you imagine how radically different your life would be if you used just 1% more?
No.
I mean, for some people, Lee, that's double. Eh? That's a lot of change.
Yeah.
And can you train your brain to use more of its power?
Yes.
Absolutely. That's what mind power is about. You learning to control and discipline your mind. Because your mind, most people's minds are like a spoiled child. It thinks whatever it wants to think, whenever it wants to think it, nobody's controlling it. It's on its own trip. And what you need to do, just like you need to discipline a child, you need to discipline the mind. But actually, the mind wants leadership. The mind is saying to you, hey, Lee, here I am. I have unlimited power. You're using 10% or 3% or whatever, use me. And you're like, no, I'm busy. What are you busy doing? I'm busy suffering. I'm suffering. So, most people don't make time to control the one thing that's going to change their lives. So for me, mind power is something I do every day. In the beginning, I ask people to make a major commitment and give me 30 minutes a day. After that, you can do 10 minutes a day. Just every day, I do a little bit of mind power. While I'm in the shower, I do some mind power. While I'm driving, sometimes while I'm running on the treadmill. So in different situations, I work out my mind. And I tell my mind, all right, Robin, I want you to think, how are you going to manifest this? How are you going to make this a great interview with Lee? What do you want to focus on? What do you want people to leave with? Because you want to literally train your mind to be the magnificent servant that it is.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And one of my favorite parts is definitely the affirmations and the mantras. Just tell our viewers a bit more about that.
Yeah, affirmations and mantras are extremely, extremely powerful. What is an affirmation? So simple. A short, rhythmic, positive statement. A short, rhythmic, positive statement. I am tremendously successful. I am tremendously successful. I am tremendously successful. So we all talk to ourselves. And if you're not talking out loud, you're thinking. Your mind never stops thinking. It's always jibber jabbering away. The seeds are being sown, whether you're aware of it or not. What I ask people to do with the technique of affirmations, where you tell your mind, I want you to think about this. So the key to long-term success is consistency, and the key to long-term success is repetition. So if I had to say to you, what's 3 times 3? Instantly, you know it's 9. I say, what's 8 times 5? Instantly, you don't even think about it. 40. What's 12 times 12? 144. What's 7 times 7? 49. What's 3 times 4? 12. What's 12 times 9? 72. Took me a while, yeah. What is 13 times 9? That one's not in the computer. They only program us up to 12.
Yes,
and so anything below 12, even though I struggled on 72 for a second, everything below 12, the mind knows instantly. But when I say what's 13 times 9, not in the computer, can we get it into the computer?
Yes, we can.
Repetition. If I told you 10 times a day for the next 2 weeks, 13 times 9 is 117. 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 If I came back to you a year from now, I said, what's 13 times 9? 117, because you've conditioned it. So what is affirmation? It's one of the techniques, one of many techniques that we use to recondition your way of thinking, to reprogram the thinking. So I realized many years ago that my number one goal was to be one of the top speakers on the planet. So I created an affirmation. I am a top motivational speaker, successful throughout this planet. I am a top motivational speaker, successful throughout. Now, when I first started saying it, I'd spoken in Windhoek, so I was international, another country, but I wasn't really a top international speaker. But the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. The subconscious mind accepts whatever it is fed. So I said it over and over again. And gradually I started doing talks overseas. And now today I literally have traveled. The only continent I haven't spoken on, I've traveled there, but the only continent I haven't spoken on is South America, because it's 90% Spanish and Brazil is Portuguese. So
Yes.
I've had requests, but then I said, well, I need to translate. And they go, yeah, it's not going to work so well. But I've literally otherwise spoken on every other continent
Wow.
in so many countries around the world, because your thoughts become your reality. So
Yeah.
an affirmation is a short, rhythmic, positive statement. And then probably my most favorite mantra, because you asked me in the written article, what's your favorite mantra? My most favorite mantra is something I created for myself in 2005, I think, or 6. I was in San Diego in another workshop with Tony Robbins, and I was in a very inspired state, and I wanted to create a mantra that inspired me to be my best. And now most people, I just give it away to everyone, and it goes as follows: I am brilliant, I am bright, I'm a radiant being of light, I'm an outstanding peak performer, I'm a dynamic life transformer. So I say this every morning in the shower.
Brilliant.
I am a international speaker, successful throughout this planet. I am brilliant and bright. I'm a radiant being of light. I'm an outstanding peak performer. I'm a dynamic life transformer. And as you can tell, I've said it tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of times, because I've been saying it for, I don't know, 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
And I still say it because I keep wanting to up my game. So affirmations are an extremely powerful tool to change your consciousness.
Oh, that's wonderful. And yeah, you asked me in our previous call what mine was. And I say mine every day. And I love it. I live it even more than once a day. It really depends. And I think I think another aspect to it, and not just around all the mind power and what it is that you do, but from a businessman point of view, I am just as inspired by you, because you literally changed your business model and the way you do things throughout COVID. Do you want to just kind of give us a bit of an idea of from where you traveled the world to having to change to online?
Yeah, on the line. I like calling it on the line. I am now on the line. Well, you know, the funny thing is 2020 started out and looked like it was going to be my best year in my business. I mean, it was just like I was getting requests from all over the world, and of course, South Africa. It was just like nuts. My seminars, I was getting into thousands of people in my seminars. It was just phenomenal. And then COVID came along. And suddenly my business came to a grinding halt. And my mentor, John Keogh, said to me when I spoke to him, because I was obviously anxious about it, normal to have normal feelings. People often say, geez, Robin, you're probably always positive. No one's always positive. We all have challenging days. And John says to me, and I was speaking to him, I was saying, geez, John, this is really tough. Of course, things have gotten canceled. I'm not sure I've got staff to play. I've got overheads and da-da-da-da. And he says to me, Robbie, this is the best thing that could ever have happened to you. I said, why? He says, because you've been banging away at that old model, traveling the world. You're always exhausted when I speak to you. I know you love what you do, but you're burning out and you're too young to burn out. He says, this is going to force you to change. And there's a beautiful quote by a man called Sam Weiss, which says, change is not a force to be feared. It is an opportunity to be seized. Yes. And I'm happy to say, Lise, I seized the opportunity. Naturally, I went all online. And yes, it was challenging in the beginning, but I can honestly say to you that here I am 20 months later, and it is the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I mean it. Why? Well, first of all, I now speak from this very office, and I literally have people from all over the world. You did my first online seminar. And now my online seminars reach the entire planet. Literally from Japan to the USA to Brazil to New Zealand and everywhere in between. I reach people from the comfort of my own home. I can give them a better price because I don't have to pay for the flights, the accommodation, the sound, the view. And my carbon footprint is, I want to say, 100th of what it was, because I was on a plane probably 10 times a month. I was flying a lot. I was exhausted. And here I am sitting, making a bigger difference. Giving my clients better value, and I get to have a more relaxed and balanced life and spend time with my partner, and I get to play golf. And what is life about? It's not just about working. It's about living. And so many people are busy making a living that they don't have a life.
Yeah.
So I must say, I have found a massive blessing in it. And I want to say to all of you, no matter what situation you are in, no matter how tough it is, there is always a way when you're committed. If you're committed and you're serving a purpose that is greater than your own self.
Robin, it has been absolutely wonderful talking to you today. Thank you so much. And I'm going to end off by asking you the last question, and that is, what advice do you have for other entrepreneurs and business people out there?
Thank you. And by the way, it's been a pleasure being here with you. For me, one of the things that really stood out to me is, first of all, make sure that you're constantly growing, studying and developing yourself. I'm always making sure that I'm upgrading my business, upgrading my software, internal software. So keep doing the work. That's one of the things I'd say. And the other thing I'd say, it's actually during your time of discomfort that you grow the most. And one of my favorite speakers, man, I'm sure many of you have heard of, is Tony Robbins. And he's got a quote that I use a lot. There's always a way when you're committed. And so if you can get clear on what your vision is, what's the grandest vision you have for your business, make a clear mental picture in your mind of what success looks like to you and what success means to you, because success means different things to different people. And when you become clear about being able to clearly articulate, this is what success looks like to me. This is going to happen. 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 And this is what success feels like to me. This is what success means to me. What does it mean to be successful? Is it just the money, or is it more than the money? Because yes, money is a part of it, but what is it really about? And for me, what it's about is finding your purpose. What purpose do you serve? And when you have a clear purpose, as I said, the force of the universe will rise up to make it happen for you. So it all starts with you. Everything starts with a thought. Gain clarity in the inner world, and you'll master and create clarity in the outer world.
Robin, thank you. Absolutely an honor. And yes, we'll definitely be checking out what you're doing for 2022. Good luck with the year. And all the new projects. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Lee, and good luck to you, and well done on your success. Boom! I take personal ownership of it.
Definitely. Thanks so much, Robin.
Bye.
Bye.